that was like 8 weeks or 7 weeks, but I mean that was a good time too. Like we had fun with Connor.
Yeah,
like, we went out with him a few times.
Yeah, like what was like you see they edit the show obviously,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like I was just curious, like what was he like behind the scenes? Because you, especially nowadays, you hear so many wild stories of Connor. Like he's, going all over the place. I was just curious, like back then, like could you tell us some like stories like behind the scenes, like was there really bad blood between? Because like when him and Uriah would roast each other, it was like funny.
So funny.
But like I remember like Cody like got pissed and like wanted, was that Cody?
Oh yeah, because it was about TJ.
Right.
That was like the beginning of the like TJ split.
Call it a little snake.
Yeah. There's a little snake in the grass. Like because me and TJ, like we were probably hungover every morning. So before there's like a little room with like coffee, Pedialyte, all this shit in the back of that gym. And so we didn't know there was like talk going on because everybody had to sit and wait for filming to start. Like Connor's team, like because everybody came in different times with the vans. So me and TJ were making coffee or getting drinks in the back somewhere, and then like as we come out, like that's when Connor says that about him. And like after they had already been talking, and like Feely and Cody, like they had TJ's back on whatever he was saying about Coach Dwayne and like leaving, and it was a weird thing because we already had a feeling. So like the thing of like where Connor like knowing this before we knew wasn't really true. Like we all had a feeling like TJ was going to leave with Dwayne because they had such a good bond as a coach and a fighter. But that was like the first time it had been public, kind of. So like once that aired, it was like, but that whole situation when it went down, it was just like Connor he was cool. I thought he was a good guy. Like
what's he really like? You see the
he just likes to have fun. Like honestly, the way that he acts, like when he's out having a good time, like at that point he was already crazy famous too, and that was back in 2015, I think, 15 or 16. But like during that time period, I was like, damn, dude, like this guy, he's just likes to have fun, just a cool dude. Super disciplined. Like I'm assuming like everything that he did up to that point, like he was super disciplined with, his training and took his fight seriously and like that. I mean, he was just one of those guys where you're like, man, he had the charisma and everything on the microphone for them to be able to build him up and the whole country of Ireland behind him. But also like he was just a cool dude. Like he was fine. Like even after like some of that went down, like he didn't care. He wasn't fighting any of us. Well, we didn't know until like 2 weeks before that he was fighting Chad. So that was one of the things where we were just like, we'll go out and party with this dude, hang out. Like he invited us to a bunch of like the night pool party, like cabana things, shit like that. Like we all had fun. Like even TJ, it was like me, TJ, Cody, like we would all go out and hang out with him. So there was no like, he wasn't a guy who just like, I'm not going to hang out with these dudes, or he wasn't a or anything. Like I had a good time.
Cool. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Conor McGregor, but you see, like nowadays, you just see him going crazy and stuff with all the antics and stuff. But I'll always be a fan of him as a fighter. And when he did the tour with Floyd Mayweather, that was some of like the best roast.
Dude, that's what sold that fight.
Yeah,
100%.
Like it wasn't like, don't get me wrong, he's a skilled boxer, like good southpaw boxer. Like he knows how to pick his shots, and like he held his own in there for a while, and like the fight itself was whatever, but building that fight just with his mouth and the way that he conducted himself throughout that whole tour, like that was his career defining. Like no UFC belt, no nothing. Like the way he was able to like put himself levels above Mayweather on like the talking and all that, like because Floyd was always the one to roast everybody else up to that point, and Conor was just able to do it like that. That was like
president of Showtime. He embarrassed the president of Showtime.
You know, funny.
He completely destroyed Mayweather, and that was the first time Mayweather looked really bad.
Oh yeah,
he was at a loss of words.
Oh dude, what's he gonna say? Like he was getting punked. Like he had the high heel. He was like high heel.
You're
like
40
dude,
with a backpack.
And it was so funny. Yeah. Like dude, it was so funny, and that was the biggest thing for me too. Is like I don't hate on any fighters. Like if I like them or not, that's one thing. But if I don't know a fighter, I'd be like, I don't really like tune into this guy or whatever. But it's not because I don't like hate him. I don't hate him or anything. I'm just like, man, some guys I just would rather watch than others, you know, like, and there's like same thing for fair weather fans probably. Like if they don't like certain wrestlers or grapplers, they're like, oh man, that was a snooze fest. Or like most people just want to see a knockout. They want to see somebody die in there. You know what I mean? Like bloody knockout, which like that's what fighting was started from, like when the UFC first came out. But for me, it's like I like skill. Like I like his ability to like pick his shots. Like he is really well calculated. Like even if you watch like his earlier in the UFC, like very calculated. He would walk guys down, stalk them, pick his shots, and then unload when it got to the point where he was breaking them down. And I think, I mean, obviously over the years, people figure you out and your fight style. And like, if you're not evolving as much as you need to, then it kind of, you know, guys can catch you and things like that. But that's the sport. So like people are like, a lot of people be like, oh, he fell off. He'll never fight again. He doesn't need to.
Right.
Like he doesn't need to fight again. He promoted himself so well in his early part of his career before he had a belt, before he had any of that, that it trickled down to where he's at now, like owning other businesses, doing his other shit. Like, and I applaud it. I think it's awesome.
He took the, in my opinion, anyways. Just he took the MMA and the UFC to another level.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Fighter pay, like everything. I mean, when he did that tour with Mayweather, I mean, that was insane. Insane. Like I mean, is that a fair assessment to say that Conor, like with everything about him, his whole aura, he kind of took things to another level for the
100%,
UFC, right?
Because he superseded the UFC by himself.
Yeah,
like he outgrew the UFC in that manner. Like he became his own spectacle. Yeah. And that's why him going to boxing for that Mayweather fight was, dude, great. Go do that.
Yeah.
Like make your money while you can, because like obviously he was able to put it into his other businesses and the alcohol industry. And I think he has like a record label now or something.
That he's with Bare Knuckle too.
He's a co or part owner of Bare Knuckle fighting.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like, dude, you've already done the hundreds of millions of dollars like in fighting. You don't need to fight. Like even if you do fight, like just do a boxing fight or some shit. Because it's like, don't come back because other people want you to, or because the UFC wants you to, or this or that. Like, and I know Dana's not a guy who like, he's not going to beg somebody to come and fight for him. You know, Dana's a billionaire on his own. Like he's got guys like Conor was that unicorn in the UFC for sure.
Absolutely.
Like nobody can deny that.
I know we're got to wrap up right now. Let's get back to you.
For sure.
You can be the Conor McGregor type that goes out and does the annex and creates a drama. And there's more money in doing that. So I get why people do it. And I don't have anything against it. And it never bothered me one bit. Yeah. So, I would just, just stay myself,
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, what they're trying to do and what like Conor does very well is he takes you out of yourself, right? Like Conor does that very well. Like Jose Aldo is the obvious victim of that,
right?
Where, Jose had never pushed back like that on an opponent before a match before, right? And Conor pulled that anger out of him. And that's exactly what they want. That's what they're looking for. So obviously work for Conor, and then it's like what I tell the young fighters. It's like you just got to decide who you are, and just be yourself. Like that is who Conor is too. Like I've hung out with them before he got really famous in the bars and stuff, and that's exactly who he is. He's not faking anything. And then there is the Chaels and the Colbys who do fake it. Mm-hmm. But they have that in them too. So, they're probably just, it's not even fake really. I mean, they're playing a character, but it's not even fake. Like that's in them. And if you have that in you, more power to you, bro. Go make your money.
Oh yeah.
If you don't, then that's cool too. Either way, you got to win.
Right.
Like no one gives a shit about losers, right? Like you only care about winners.
Yeah. You mentioned this. What was it like when you and Conor go out to bar? Can you describe that? You guys hanging out?
Well, I didn't really know who he was.
Like, what was he like though? Like, as a person?
When we went out, I mean, I just seen him at the bar. We didn't like go out together or anything. It was his first fight in Boston. I forget who he fought, but he was
the black dude.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was his first fight in America.
Yeah, it was I forgot the black guy's name, but yeah, he did
a Brazilian guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pieced him up.
Yeah, pieced him up. Yeah. I don't know why I can't remember his name, but either way, you know, he was very obnoxious and loud and, you know, dressed really nice. And, you know, we're all wearing our, you know, warm up suits and like, I even said to him, I'm like, bro, like what the f you wearing? Like, and I mean, he straight told me, he's my bro. He's like, you gotta make money, man. Like, you gotta look good in this. I'm like, dude, you full of shit, you know, man. Yeah, he was right. So, yeah, good for him. But, you know, that's my point. It's like, you can be that, you know, like at that time that hadn't really been seen, right? There were some guys, you know, like GSP was dressing nice, you know, and then there was guys like Tito and, you know, Chael who were talking some shit, but no one put the whole package together till Conor.
Right.
And he put it all together and, you know, and also had to go do some great things.